always look to the stars, taking a fascination in the hope that can be found in the heavens for humankind.
The aftermath of the moon explosion caused during their engine loss.
Decisive action from scientists and politicians across the globe.
We are always focused on adaptation, progression, and preserving the future of humanity, no matter the challenge that faces us.
Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to IXION. We are on our second official channel playthrough, and in the first episode I feel like we are in a significantly better spot than we were even at the end of the third episode last time. Now, if you aren't familiar with where we are in the system of Immortan. We are trying to find the Protagoras. Protagoras? I think it's Protagoras. And we just initiated our jump into this area. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out differently than the first time. Again, I've learned quite a bit, and try not to be like super spoilery, but knowing the things that I know, it's going to happen regardless. So we're gonna send the Oxford to Falcon 74, and then we're gonna send, usually there's stuff right around here. All right, cool, there's a big, right there, that's where our first is gonna be. Now, for the future, we are currently working on cell housing, which I'm kind of wanting to pause. Because what I found out while I was looking around at things is we have a sector stability of +1 from mostly living in crew quarters, which means they're going to prefer crew quarters over the cell housing. So I think what I'm going to do is initially we are going to do cell housing to get some people in, and then what I'm going to do is tear this stuff down and rebuild using the optimized quarter, because that's 40 crew members, whereas previously we were only able to hold 30 in an area. I know that's only +10, but that does make a difference. I mean, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, that's 60 more people right here. So that's a decent bit. That's 70, that's 80 more people that we could have in this sector. And the same goes here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, there's 60 more people there alone. So I think it would be worth it. And it keeps that stability up, which I think is the most crucial part. So we are going to continue. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you will enjoy the episode. All right. This is Oxford's crew. We land on Falcon 74. Gravity is approximately half of Earth's. Atmosphere is corrosive. We found a huge geyser emitting gas that quickly solidifies into cubic particles upon exposure. We're going to establish infrastructure. We have plenty of alloy available to us, so I don't see any issues with doing that. Then we're going to have our first satellite hit. Our probe has uncovered a hefty amount of carbon. Well, I say a hefty amount. Yeah, that's a good amount of carbon and a decent amount of goodness gracious, iron. Thank you very much. We also, quality of life is important to you. The fact that you've had time to provide them with entertainment has led to some believe you're in fact not human. Possibly a genetically superior being. New generation of PA. Is that the, I think that's the Star Trek sign. That's funny. Okay, sure. We'll take that 10% bonus. It's a little weird, but we'll take it. And then, yeah, we'll be able to install our housing here and be on our merry. Dang it. Okay, so, well, I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do. That is very unfortunate. Now, what I could still squeeze it in there. Yeah, we'll still do that. So what we're going to do this. Okay, well, that's fine. It's a little frustrating. Well, okay, nope, let's take a look. Oh, goodness, this is fun. If we were to put it right here, we'd have to delete that road and 3 squares. So we could actually do that, and I think it fits perfect. Okay, so that's not ideal, but that will give us enough time to deal with everything else until we're ready to move on. And it's going to be the same over here. I don't have the space for it. But let's go ahead. We're going to remove these 2 guys. And then I am going to boop and boop. And that was our battery as well, which isn't that big of a deal. I think we'll be okay. If anything, I can install a new one. I'm just not quite sure where it will go. I could actually go right there. I think that would be all right. So we'll have a place for it to go. As soon as the guys get out of there, we'll be right as rain. We need to reinstall that. We should have another probe. We should indeed. There's a huge amount of silicone right there. The question is, why can't I launch it? Oh, because the probe is what's broken. The probe launcher. Okay, derp to derp. Man alive. Okay, so we had that silicone. That's a huge amount right there. Huge, huge. All right, very cool. We're on track. They're rocking it. They're trying to rock it. There we are. Okay, it's not letting me build a road. There we go. Something was a little wonky. There we are. Science team has completed a task. Okay. Sheltered by the installed infrastructure, they studied the anomaly. Several theories on geysers and precipitation phenomena have been established. Nice. Crew members are worried about the number of hazards they're coming across in space. We can promise that no member will die, will not rise above 5. No, I promise nothing because I just simply don't know what's out there. Yeah, I'm not going to promise anything, but we are going to go to crew quarters. We're going to research optimized quarters so we can start tearing down stuff and reinstating it, which will work. All right, Sector 1. We're doing good. Sector 2, we're building, which is great. Let's see. What else do we want? Thought I saw a big giant flicker of carbon. They did. Cool, the science team has finished there. We're going to go to DOG 0202. And you know what? We have the capabilities. Yeah. Let's go ahead and add those guys. And we have our optimized quarters. All right, so what we can do, and I do wish there was a much better way to delete all these, but there's not. Now, they're going to be pretty upset about this. That's understandable. Cool. But we'll be able to optimize that significantly better. And then we got the DOG. Reached the asteroid. The mining ship Sheptel was adrift nearby. It appears to have been pierced by a fast-moving object, killing its operator instantly. External markings indicate the Sheptel was a mining craft of the Protagoras. I don't know why I keep saying Protagoras. Let's see, what other sciencey things do we have? Want to kind of balance between all that, but at the same time, that looks like a really good place to send a probe, so I don't want to forget it. Yes, this will be perfect. There we are. This will go a long ways towards kind of revitalizing everything and making things just a little more secure. We are going to go here, then here, here. We're just going to take our time. I'm going to try not to go full speed so much. I really do want things to be a little more optimized, not quite so intense.
A probe has completed its scan.
All right, we are out of space entirely. Let's see. Can't fit that. I really can't fit that. No, that's like very much can't fit that. It's not ideal location, but we'll go ahead and go into there. Gives them a reason to dump some alloy into there.
Ship team has completed a task.
Cool. We're still gonna rock those people. We're still going to take apart all of these quarters. And then as people come in, we should be able to fill it out. They were able to retrieve navigation data, which include a ton of iron and a couple of electronics. And we're going to determine the cause of the ship's destruction, because I think that has some pretty big significance. We've got another science thing there. Guys, we are rocking and rolling as much as we can. I know that we need exoskeletons and deep dive apparatus, so we're going to go into that to see what happens when we explore all the things once we're done. Perfect. Perfect again. And they're neutral. We probably should build another stability thing here. Or we might wait and do the DLS center, which should give us a boost. Yeah, we're rocking it. Sector 2 is no longer specialized in industry. Whoa, did I do that? Son of a biscuit. I don't recall saying that we need to do that, but Ripperdoodles, we will just rebuild. I was apparently not paying attention enough. Alright, our spaceship was intentionally hit by a projectile. After careful investigation, they recovered fragments of a shell bearing the emblem of the UN and the word Eta Menanki. So an interesting thing, I just looked this up, but Eta Menanki is actually the Babylonian word for the Tower of Babel, the ziggurat that was in the Bible, but also believed to be an actual building. And the, now I know it's Murdoch Council, but the ancient Babylonian god of Munduk is actually tied to the Tower of Babel. So there's kind of a nice symbology there of the UN taking this guy on, very clearly an intentional shot. It's just a cool little neat historical thing. Anytime you see something like that, especially when it's bolded like that, I always like to look it up. So it has some pretty significant information there, which is just a really cool tie into it all. As we continue to launch probes, there is a lot of water there. There's also a lot of hydrogen, something we don't have yet. But we could certainly get squeezed in there for sure. Build our population up in there. One of the things that I do wish we could see would be the information regarding how many people we need to squeeze in here. Well, science ship, we're gonna work through all those notifications. Do we have... Okay, that's unlocked. Very cool. So we are going to send them to Parenti 85, where I do believe the exoskeletons will come into play, which will be really, really cool. Or no, the deep dive apparatus. And then one of these over here has the exoskeleton, so I'm really cool to see what happens there. Our next step is a fusion station, because we are going to want to start rolling these out of style so that we can then bring in our farms.
Has arrived at its destination.
Sector 2 is now specialized in Industry 1.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
We got a lot going on. Alright, this is the crew of the Oxford. We've entered Parenti's 85 atmosphere. Equipment has been deployed. The gravity may complicate our operations. Visible is nil. Atmospheric corrosive factors are negligible. We could release microprobes into the atmosphere. We could establish a weather station or set up advanced infrastructure for meteorological analysis and simulation. We're going to try establishing a weather station. We still have plenty of alloy.
A new request awaits your attention.
We have a new request. They want to shut down the factories. We can't do that. I'm sorry. That's just not feasible. And while we're at it, we might as well knock these down. We don't need them since we are so close to having farms. And it's just going to free up a little more space for me to figure out what to do in this space. We're optimal across the board, which is great. And we have another probe. I know there's another sciencey thingy out here. There we go. All right, our fusion station. Holy cow. Thing is massive. You know what? Okay, let's delete this. I started deleting all of these because we were needing to shove out the extra stuff. What we're going to do here is we are going to put a fusion station right here. I'll add another housing block or something over here. But that way, we need to... We have our ice right next to our station here. And that way, it's the least amount of issues that we'd have overall. Utilizing the best space so then we can start getting water input. So that way, we can then start utilizing an actual farm system and generate way more food than we really need at the moment. We're rocking it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do. We're working everything that we can and trying to find all the good stuff is what's been most important for me at the moment. And I think we're about to get ready to open up our third. Once we get farm production done, I think we'll be able to open up our third sector and roll along with it fairly well. Meteorological analysis allowed our team to establish new theories about weather patterns on Parenti 85. The team also developed a number of working models that demonstrate the impact of electromagnetic fields on centripetal forces under the influence of self-similar particles. Woo. That is a sentence and a half. But that extra science will allow us to get our farms up and operational, which is always a nice thing. Sector 1 is going to be without people or without housing just for a smidgen of time.
A probe has completed its scan.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and deny that guy. It's not a lot. We don't need to worry about it. But goodness gracious, we've got just astronomical things all over the place. I feel like there should be something over here. We're already looking at that. There's a science spot. We'll send that over there. And otherwise, we're doing pretty darn well. And they have used everything from Parenti 85. I'm going to head over to Plymouth 37, knowing that once we get done with this thing, we're going to do exoskeletons and move our population along in other ways.
Neocon protocols have identified a new planet suitable for our colonization test.
And we now have a planet suitable for colonization test program, which is great. So what we're going to do, we're going to go with a population. Oh, we haven't unlocked the research or the colonization place yet. We got to do that first. And then we'll be on our way. We still need to gather up some resources. There's a lot that needs to be mined. I'm actually going to do that so we can focus on the carbon. Crop farm has been produced. Nice. We have a point of interest as well. And now we can focus on our farming. Farming is going to be absolutely crucial. I'm going to go ahead and build that there. We have more than enough to cover the costs until we are ready to be up and running. So we're going to pull everything from here, which will be fine because we are going to come right back and fill this place up with different farms. Now, hopefully we'll have enough space.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Plymouth, what are you doing? We've landed on Plymouth. The opaque atmosphere lets in hardly any light. These are geological formations on the planet's surface resemble giant emerald waves frozen in time. We are going to always, if we can, establish some crucial infrastructure. I think it's a very wise move. And we apparently have something. Gotta search for it right there. Nice. Okay, that's running. And it's gonna take 4, which is actually 1 more than our guys here. So I am trying to think of the most optimal solution. The most optimal would honestly be to then build a farm right there, connect it somehow, very loosely. We need to give it as much room as possible. Oh, yes. That's perfect. We've reached our max. Now, the only issue I see is right here. So we might actually, we can do this. I'm going to dismantle this crew quarters. And we're going to have to connect via this route. Which isn't a problem whatsoever. It will be all fine. It'll work out just dandy. Which means we have to do a little bit of rearranging, which isn't anything out of the ordinary for us. Now, we need some more carbon as well as silicone. So can we find a happy medium? Can't seem to find a happy medium, so what I am, oh, right there, that's pay dirt. Cool. We've got a ship coming, the Mule, which is going to work well over there. And now that we have researched all of that stuff, let's get into our colonization training center, excuse me, not trading. They're not decks of cards. And now we can connect that here. Slap a population place right there. And we can connect all of that so we can actually remove. Now, they're going to freak out for just a little bit, and I understand. It is a little bit freaky. And there's going to be a little bit of wasted space, but it will be all right overall. And then we can do the same thing here. And not only that, but I can fill in these spots. Ooh, that hurts. That really hurts. Okay, we're gonna redesign some things. Can I squeeze 3 here? I can probably only squeeze 2. We are going to dismantle. There's too much wasted space here. I cannot in good conscience let that space go. But with how much water we are intaking, as well as how much already, yeah, we're already rocking it. We are already rocking it. And I just want to be able to put 3 more. So I would be able to do that by going right here and going across. And we'll actually be able, once we're done, be able to squeeze some people in like that. So I'm not concerned. My only concern at this point is being able to get this food somewhere quickly if it needed to. And yeah, we're already increasing by a whole bunch. There's a huge vein of silicone there. And now we're going with the Plymouth. Very nice. All right, the team at the Plymouth. Inside these gigantic geodes, huge crystals are bathed in toxic and corrosive gases. No incidents occurred despite having disastrous environmental conditions. Able to draw conclusions about subterranean nuclear activity. We're going to leave the planet, but as they take off, they spotted geological formation. Sure. Well, let's investigate. Of course we will, and that will give us quite a good amount of research. And also, Sector 1 has specialized in food. All right, science team at the Plymouth. Optical illusions, that's unfortunate, but that's all right. We get that collection going on. We'll go to Fargo. after my science ship researches exoskeletons. As for Sector 1, we are at the point where capacity is at its max. For food, or at least the mess hall, you know, we can only feed 50, or I guess 500 colonists at a time. And we're at 533 over here. So yeah, that's all right. We are gearing up. We'll be okay. I'm not concerned whatsoever. Let's get this down here. Now what I want to do, I want to leave as much space for other sectors as possible. That's the max we can build. Oh, we can't squeeze. Oh, we're so close. What I can do is I can squeeze in this way. If even just for a few. Yeah, we'll do... you know what? We may not even need that. We actually don't even need that, so I'm not going to worry about it. The only things that I'm worried about now are the fact that, like, I can't really get... We're going to do this. We're going to dedicate this to food. What should we dedicate this to? Let's go ahead and get another thing of ice in. Perfect. All right. Now, they're headed... We're going to head them to Fargo. We're going to see if there are any more science anomalies. Does appear to be some way out in the boondocks, as well as a huge supply of hydrogen. Where'd that go? There it is. We'll see if it makes it. We have a new request. The novelty of eating crops grown in space delights the crew, even if purely perceptual. Turning of the ordinary and extraordinary can have a profound effect on judgment. Nice. We are sitting pretty stinking well in terms of all of that stuff. So I'm not entirely overtly concerned with that, but it's good to know that everyone thinks I'm doing a good job. We are going to go ahead and override this next section. I think we're at that point. I think we can handle it quite well. Fargo, we're going to collect some science just real quick. All right, what do we got? Probe scans picked up emergency message broadcasting. However, the protocol's different and by the Tycoon, its auxiliary craft. Window of opportunity appears to be opening. A temporary cessation of the high winds is giving us a clear zone. We took advantage of the drop in wind speed to descend. The gravity's intense, and several of our measuring instruments have failed. Despite this extreme hostile environment, we're prepared to make a sortie. We're going to deploy the entire crew in reinforced exoskeletons. Geolocation tools to ensure safe passage. Unlocked because we have them, which is just stinking cool. And actually, I want to see if this probe makes it through. Nice, it did. Now, we're not going to make it through here. All right, now I know we can't hit this, but we're going to give it a go anyways. It's only 3 polymer, and we have tons of polymer on us, so I'm not worried about it in the least.
A probe has completed its scan.
Man, that's a lot of hydrogen, and that's a lot of ice. Okay, so we have to prioritize some things. For instance, we need to not worry so much about the ice out here. We have plenty of ice. I want to make sure that we only get the ones that are closest to us, like these boyos and these guys, and even this, and possibly even, yeah, get that done.
Has completed a task.
So also, we can just get our focus straight. And once we open up our 3rd EVA lock, we'll be able to do even more, which is awesome. All right, we've arrived at the source. We found a cargo ship of an unknown class that bears a resemblance to those we use on the Tycoon. It is embedded within the rock face below a large promontory. High winds are making its balance unstable. Ooh. Interesting. Recover archive data from the cargo ship and return to the Oxford. Survey the cargo ship, recover any archive data. Recover data from the cargo ship and attempt EKP repair. Team will attempt to repair the EKP engine and utilize the autopilot system to launch it into orbit. Success would allow the ship's cargo to be recovered. Let's go ahead and try that. That's an interesting solution. Odds are they're going to die, but it's an interesting solution nonetheless. We do have another sciencey thingy over there, which works for us. We just need 80, and we seem to be completely out of alloy over here. Oh, we're not getting in. Okay, let's reduce the priorities on those. I see what's going on. We hit just a little bit of a hiccup. We are focusing too much on other elements and not on iron, which is a big mistake. And at this point, is there anything out here that would simply be worth it or not? We got tons of iron there, which we honestly might go for. We'll go right there and see what happens. As the Oxford was retrieving cryopods, a volley of telluric bodies that were orbiting Valiant 1 hit the science ship. Fortunately, no damage was done. Oof. But the cryopods have been prepared for extraction. Yep, that's fine with me. Cool. That's probably the best outcome we could have hoped for. Let's go to the Mac-R. Check traces of Adolos EKP signatures, tracking its trajectory. Appears to have entered the planet's atmosphere. Coordinates of a potential crash site. Site have been established. Yeah, we really need to get them dropping as much of this stuff as possible. We definitely need that. Just top of the line. Necessary. Now, we actually are full of water.
A science ship
Almost.
has arrived at its destination.
So we're not cranking out ice as much as we need to be, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We've collected all the science. Now, the temperatures are extremely low. Reaching the crash site, found remains of a science ship frozen in ice. We're going to set up excavation equipment. Now, I know we're running a little bit low, but I think it's crucial that we try and set this up and get extract as much as possible. We actually had a member die. We haven't had people die, I feel, in a very long time, so I will take that 100%. And then where is our training center? How much is that going to set us back? It's going to set us back 90. So I'm actually going to wait until production is a little more in line with what we need. And then we're going to get that all figured out. We should be able to open this up relatively soon-ish. I'm more concerned about hull integrity than I am anything else. All usable components from the wreckage have been conditioned and prepared for extraction. The Oxford's team was able to recover data that revealed the cause of the science ship's crash, named the Amorplace. This ship belonged to the second-generation Taurus-class superstructure called the Protagoras. Following some sort of attack by the Intiminanki, a UN ship, okay. The Amorplace attempted an emergency landing. Coming in too fast, it was almost completely vaporized on impact. The crew, manifest, has been recovered. I feel like that's something that's going to be coming up. We've unlocked high-quality lubricants for the workshop. We are able to extract 45 polymer and 45 data. We are going to leave the planet, and we have an incoming call.
Administrator, we have collected and analyzed enough data to locate the Protagoras on the planetary system map via probe scan.
All right, now we could find it. We're not going to yet. I don't want to get above in case that triggers an event, because I don't want to do it. But what we have here is a new sector. Brilliant. Let's go ahead and just get our standard propped up there. I'm just going to put some feelers out to kind of get our basic setup figured out. And this is just to grab resources, mind you. So we are going to go here. Now, the bummer is that I guess I'm just going to have to put that there, which is fine. I'm not sure why I can't do that. I'm not collected to... Oh wow. Okay, yeah. Well, I goofed up there, but that's okay. We'll get there in just a second. Now, these guys are good from over there. Let's go ahead and send them to Tatra V8. And then we also have something here. Discovery of the Entomnonke's attack on the Protagoras. Many of the crew's theories about the UN's animosity towards Dolos have been confirmed. The crew's been shaken, learning they were struck with the seal of banishment by the former authorities of Earth. We'll increase the dead Earth issues that we're having. Let's go ahead and drop in another stability for this group. And then in Sector 6, we'll get moving right along. Just as soon as we're connected. There we go. And then we'll just keep that stuff coming along quite nicely. Science ship has arrived. That's great. But what I need to do is I need to get that out of the way. Perfect. And we need to build our food. That's also true. Let's go ahead and build that for food. And then for population, we can utilize the space. I feel the best if we were to just kind of... maybe that wasn't the best. But regardless, that will hold 80 people. So I do feel that that is an apt thing to do. Now, what we can also do now is we can split everything. So that means we can start putting, I don't know, we'll start with 50 here. Alloy, we'll kind of keep like that. Electronics, we will each do 5. I feel like electronics are just going to be the hardest thing. And we'll keep it to that easily enough. Because all we need to do is satiate them, right? I mean, that's the name of the game for the moment. And finding the most optimal space. Let's go like that. We're just going to build arbitrarily. It is 100% arbitrary for the moment. I simply just want to get these guys rolling. We are going to do a docking bay as close as we can. And I am going to do an EVA airlock. Now that does mean that we also need to bring in some polymer, which we can also get rocking and rolling. And then once all that's said and done, we'll be able to start really taking advantage of all those. Tatra V8. Extremely violent hurricanes move through the atmosphere. We're heavily maneuvering and fear we may be struck by lightning at any moment. We've successfully located the cargo ship. It does not seem to have noticed our presence. Team will scan through different communications, beginning with those commonly used by Dolos. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll see. I have this feeling that it's not going to end well because we've actually ended very well with all of our stuff so far. So I feel like we're due for a surprise. What do we got? Comms link was established, but the crew received nothing except white noise. Initiate the boarding process, dropping 3 crew members equipped with exoskeletons. They'll attempt to gain entry, or we can ram it to force an emergency landing. No, we're going to board it. We've still narrowly escaped. I feel like my luck is about to run out, though. It's just a creepy feeling that I have. Let's get those guys in here. We're going to go there and there. There and there. Bada bing, bada boom. They're going to work on building up all of their stuff. They are, of course, quite happy. Sweet, everyone's happy. That's great. All right, science team. Boarding the cargo ship was successful. They found a PA piloting the ship. Spamming subsystems. Our team will try and extract information. Interesting, the Naomi protocol. The PA will be programmed to fly the cargo ship back to the Tycoon. It will then be disconnected. We're going to interrogate it. This is really cool. I don't know what's about to happen. That is pretty daggum intense, and we are still without a lot of our normal. And we really need as much of this iron as possible. Our team's gathering it, there's no doubts about that. The Protagoras was hunted by the Intimnanki. The UN was ruthless and systematically investigated all areas of space they knew the Protagoras to operate in. A key part of their plan involved infiltrating Dolos from the inside, sowing dissent among the Protagoras crew. A mutiny forced the Protagoras to stop in this system for longer than planned. The rebels gained access to a command terminal, transmitted the Protagoras' exact coordinates to the Intimnanki. Interesting. That's when my parents put me in this body and let me hear the play with the wind forever. Wow. Interesting. We're going to recover the cargo ship. Wow. That's actually really stinking cool. Gotta love the storylines in this thing. You absolutely gotta. Okay, so we are sharing food. We're trying to share alloy, but it's not working all too well. We are trying to just recover everything as humanly possible. And we're working on building the docking bay as well. All right, so we can start bringing in more people. That does mean I'm going to go ahead and add something for iron, because I am going to focus solely on these guys extracting iron and bringing them home. Or bringing it here, rather. And then I also think we're going to transfer 40 only workers from Sector 2 to Sector 6. We're going to start that migration. And I also want to go ahead.
A science ship team has completed a task.
And get this training center operational. That's so much space, though. We have so much space here, but getting 90 to there is not going to be simple nor easy. And the Chatra V8 cargo ship's on its way. We got a new ship, cargo ship, and we've repatriated that. That's really, really cool. Now, DeVille is eligible for colonization testing, so we're not going to go there. But this probe detected an unusual electromagnetic signal, so we're going to rocket over to there. We have so much science, and I haven't been researching, so we are going to go. We're going to go with a DLS center. That's going to allow us to enact policies, including things like allowing us to utilize waste. So I think that is a crucial.
Population transfer complete.
Nice. We transferred everything. We're still 51
has occurred in the Tycoon.
homeless people, which is fine. The Pelican doesn't have anywhere to go. But we are now constructing the docking bay, which is great. 5 crew members died. We are having more people. These guys are having to work extra hours. We're going from Sector 1 to Sector 2. We're going to start that migration. Start repairing that as well. And hope that this guy can get on it and start prioritizing this a little more. There we go.
Population transfer complete.
Nice. We've moved enough people. They're still under extra hours. They still have loads of people. So let's transfer another 50. And then they won't have so many issues. All right. Oxford team reporting, we've landed on Rockentansky D78, the icy comet's Baron, but its rotation causes shadows to dance across the surface quite beautifully. Flurries of snow move erratically, perhaps because of the abnormally high gravity. Signal appears to be transmitting from a cave. A glacial mass blocks its entrance. Can we afford an infrastructure? Yes, we can. Like I said, anywhere that we can, we will. So I'm definitely going to do that. We still have 1,000 iron to go and mine. So we're going to do that. And then they're going to work on mining some ice, which we have none. So we do need to prioritize ice. And then helium will come afterwards. Yep, we're rocking it. All right, so the Pelican, which is the one that we picked up, it's been assigned. We've got that rolling, which is great. And in fact, I think we're gonna have so much going on here that I might try and find another source of iron just to try and get as much of it up to par as possible. DLS Center has been unlocked, which is great. I'm very excited about it. But man, we really got to get our colonization center up and running. There is 0 iron here, which is a little, or alloy rather, and that's a little bit of a problem. I think I am just going to have to suck it up and put these guys over here for now. It is not what I wanted to do. But we really got to get these colonists trained, and we found a suitable planet. Everything is going our way. We just have to get more. We just have to get more. That's just what it is.
An accident has occurred in the typhoon.
All right.
A probe has completed
There we
its
go.
scan.
We're just gonna do nothing but iron. And then what we're gonna end up, or yeah, iron. And then what we're going to do is we want 100 of it. You want like 5, so that way it automatically gets transferred. And then everything will be pretty hunky-dory there. And hopefully that will just get us established and get things all the way across. It's not ideal. In fact, it's extremely not ideal. But regardless, that's just kind of the situation that we're in right now. We're also losing a lot of money, or a lot of food. Did we finish over here? We did not finish over here. It appears that there is someone needing my attention right there. Despite its high protein content, insect-based food, yeah, we're not going to do anything like that right at the moment. I don't have the time or the authority to do so. I say authority, I have authority, but it's just not feasible. And it seems also, I think we're fine. The balance for the whole station is minus 2.2. But if we were to do this, I feel like we would be just fine using up all of this stuff. So there's not things just hanging around. Great. Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of iron in, which is exactly what we needed. Not so much here, we're not so much working that, but we do have 3 supply ships in this sector, and they're all doing a great job. We just got to keep that iron pumping in, and we'll be okay, right? There we go. There we go. We're starting to bump up production again. We're doing good there. I'm going to wait to see what this cycle does. We're again bringing people there. And then if we come here, we need to train. Yeah, we're going to have them automatically train. I do need the electronics to go over to here. We got to train 30 of them. It's just how it is. I'm going to train 45 just to get more. But we do are going to research a waste treatment center as well, which we should be able to bring in over to here. And we actually do have, interesting, we have a spot for these boyos. That's 6, so that's really, really good. But we just gotta get it built. Just what we gotta do. There we go. That's what I thought. So we're fine with food. Food's rocking really, really solid, so I'm not concerned. We are out of drop pods, and we don't have hardly anyone going after water. There shouldn't be anything else that he needs to do. I do think he is getting that. And they are getting water. We're not using a ton.
A science ship team has completed
Cool.
a task.
With the extra resources, we're able to get through the ice. The cave extends deep down, and gravity's even stronger than on the surface. Sending a remote-controlled recording equipment, we discover an almost completely enclosed cavity at the center of the comet. Within the cavity is a floating gray sphere 5 meters in diameter. No power source, but it possesses strong electromagnetic field and emits a faint bluish glow. We're going to descend into the cavity. I just want to see what happens. We're going to probably leave it on a cliffhanger after that, but still, it would be very, very useful to find out what would go on. Due to your continual indifference to the problems of the Tycoon's crew, riots have broken out. Well, that's interesting. I mean, everyone's happy. I suppose not everyone is happy, but enough people are happy to be satisfactory. Now, they are... Okay, cool. What do we got? Oh no, we're no longer picking up any signals and have lost contact with both its PA and crew. We lost 5 crew members. Ship lost the science ship Oxford and the Rokantansky D-79. An interesting thing, lost contact. And they don't say crew members died. Well, that's unfortunate. That is. They were a very experienced crew, but I have a feeling they might be back. We also have another thing here. News of the Oxford's loss has spread throughout the station, and now we are officially negative, neutral. We're still happy here. Why are they neutral? From discovering the fate of the Protagoras. Okay, well, that really does suck. We are on the verge, sweet, and we have a viable planet. We're gonna stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because I am very interested to see. I don't want to stop playing. Fusion station has been disabled in an accident. Okay, that's unfortunate. What else can we start researching though? Legislative strengthening center would be good, but I'm also wondering if we couldn't do something that would allow these guys to move through dangerous weather conditions. We're gonna do self-welding. We're also gonna do improved repair protocols. All right, so we have our colonists. We need to go to DeVille 59 to see what's up, and we also need to go to Chevy 34, but we're not going to go to there just yet. We need to wait and see. You guys are going through there. Medusa is the new ship. Welcome, Medusa. You're having to fill very, very big shoes. All right, so we have policies now. Now we can't enact. This is what I don't like. I don't agree that I shouldn't have to build a DLS center in every single sector because space is absolutely precious. But we do have a lot of things. For instance, we could dispose of corpses, or we could body recycle. That decreases stability, but is turned into waste, which is what we need. We have propaganda, which is normal. We could go intense. That would allow a stability increase, which we could do. Again, generous, that would do that. Intense, 25% fewer workers, or we get 25% more workers. We are going to waste recycle, which really hurts, but I think we'll be okay. They are angry now, which is understandable. I do have the capacity to... Oh no, these all require... We have 2 in here. We are going to build an alternative life center. We are really not building optimally here. And I cannot say that I enjoy that. I think we're just going to have to not build optimally. They are going to be angry, I understand, but we are going to now be able to turn 50 waste into electronics, which is, I think, our biggest need at the moment.
A probe has completed its scan.
Okay, we've got a probe completing scans. We are going to research self-welding there. And now, hopefully, ideally I should have built this in a sector that would be able to utilize the trash. But that means that we can get rid of the trash very quickly and turn that into stuff over there. What we could also do is we could simply build a steel mill. The only issue is we need to be able to build stuff that doesn't require the electronics. Now we're over in Vallabh. We've landed. Despite the cold, harsh environment, the atmospheric conditions are remarkably similar to Earth's. We are going to establish an advanced Neocon colony infrastructure. We are going to use, let's see, that's Sector 2. Yeah, that's going to give us the best access. All right, we can officially establish them, which is really, really cool. I'm incredibly excited about it. Problem is, we're out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We're doing decently well. We are running into some basic logistical issues. And so I'm going to take some time. I'm going to figure out what we can do. Ideally, I would have placed the waste center in here. I didn't do that. That's on me. And now what I would have to do is I would have to build one here, which we could do. And then I would have to build all that and transfer it. We might end up doing it because it may just, let's go ahead and just commit to it because we need it. And so we need it that badly that I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and build a space to utilize. Let's see, could I do that? Would that be good? We'll go ahead and try that, which we could use for that. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. All the things you can do, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of IXION.
Amongst the stars.
Given the importance of the Tycoon, we must have full control over what is happening inside the station.
Administrator, trust in genetic genetics. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.